When the Stark Var first hit the scene, it shook the motocross industry. 80 horsepower, customizable maps on the phone, and no clutch work required, and the option for a handbrake, which tends to be very advantageous for those off-road riders. And as good as the standard bike was, riders often had one common question, which was, what happens if the Stark Var had proper KYB kit suspension on it? That question has finally been answered with the new Stark Var MX Factory Edition. There is going to be a limited production run of only 200 of these Stark Var Factory Edition bikes. Welcome back to Ride JBI. I'm JB. In today's video, we're going to discuss everything you need to know about the new Stark Var MX Factory Edition suspension. This new bike comes in at an eye-watering $15,900, and the big ticket item is the KYB A-kit suspension on the forks and the shock. While the forks have a distinctly different look than the OEM forks, a lot of their hardware internals are relatively the same. In this video, we're going to break down what the differences are and what the similarities are. The highly sought after KYB A-kit Springs forks, they feature Kashima-coated outer fork tubes, DLC-coated lower tubes, black billet axle lugs, and graphite gray anodized fork caps. That's what we can visually see are the differences between the OEM KYB suspension and the KYB A-kit suspension. Now let's shift our focus to some of the differences inside of the KYB A-kit suspension. Now we don't have the exact details yet, but more than likely the valving settings, so that's the internal shim stacks for the KYB A-kit forks, are going to be unique and specific to the KYB A-kit fork, and therefore different than what you would find on the stock or OEM KYB fork that commonly comes on the Stark Var MX and EX models. Now that we've covered that there's going to be a difference in the internal shim settings on the fork, some of the different hardware in the fork is going to be the spring seat will be billet aluminum compared to the plastic OEM one that comes inside of the bike. Also, the valving is going to be held in place with a M6 Fuji lock nut instead of a standard M6 nut where the threads are peened over to prevent the nut from coming off. This would be very helpful and beneficial for tuners and other backyard tuners out there that like to do their own valving mods. It makes removing the valving a lot easier in order to do so. This generation of KYB A-kit fork features the 24mm mid-valve piston. We consider this the Gen 1 KYB fork. In comparison, there is another generation KYB fork out there which features a 25mm mid-valve piston. This fork was first debuted in 2018 on the Yamaha YZ450F, and then in 2019 the YZ250F followed suit as well. There are a few other model bikes out there, Japanese bikes, that feature the 25mm piston. Now, I'm not here to imply that one fork, that one generation is better than the other, just purely to share with you some of the minor details between the different generations, aka models of KYB A-kit forks that are out there. Ultimately, what it really comes down to is going to be settings. In my personal experience and opinion, the difference between the mid-valve diameter being 24 and 25mm tends to be rather small. And again, it's heavily dependent upon the settings of how you build the fork, which is really going to provide you the experience that you have when you ride. Just because you have A-kit suspension, if you have bad settings in there, that's not going to override the poor settings. When you have A-kit suspension and you have good settings, that's when you're going to see the suspension really shine and perform. Now, this suspension has been developed and being built by Technical Touch over in Belgium. They have a ton of experience with KYB suspension, and they are the go-to people for it, especially in Europe. So more than likely, they're going to have some really high-performing stock settings for this Stark Var Factory Edition bike. To match the front forks, there's going to be a KYB A-kit shock in the rear. Some of the features of that are going to be the one-piece cast Kashima-coated shock body. There'll be a DLC-coated 16mm shock shaft, and also an X-Trig preload adjuster. Those are going to be the three key items you can visually see, and aesthetically between the KYB A-kit shock and the shock that comes on the production Stark Var models. As we can see, KYB is maintaining using the KYB triple adjuster on the shock absorber. For context, there are other styles of compression adjusters. The Yamahas come with what's called the KYB DCC, meaning dual compression clicker. Also lately, Yamaha in 2026 came out with an updated version of that DCC clicker as well. So there's a few options available for KYB. The triple adjuster has a very neat feature of the additional rebound adjustment up top. Now rest assured, there still is the traditional rebound clicker below on the rebound clevis of the shock absorber. This looks a little bit different on the kit shock as it is anodized black. As I mentioned earlier, this still is a 16mm shock shaft. What I'm referencing is the diameter of the shock shaft. That is the same as the OEM shock shaft. In comparison, other kit shocks out there, such as the Showas and the WPs, and even a select few KYB kit shocks, they utilize an 18mm shock shaft. Now, it's not always about strength of why the shock shaft may be different in size. Instead, it has to do with the amount of oil volume that the shock shaft displaces when it goes inside of the shock body. Now, to get a more intuitive sense of that, imagine you have a cup of water and you put 2 ice cubes in it. That ice is going to displace the water, and the water level in the cup is going to go up. Now, if you add a 3rd ice cube, their water level will go up even more. So, when you have 2 shock absorbers of the same length and same amount of travel, but one shock has a larger shock shaft, that larger shock shaft is going to displace more oil through the compression adjuster for the same amount of travel. So if you have the 2 shocks set up identically the same, however, one had a larger shock shaft, the one with the larger shock shaft will have stiffer compression resistance than the one with the smaller. Now again, just like the forks, when I talk about the 24mm mid piston versus the 25, I'm not here to imply one is better than the other. Instead, just give you full context into what variations of kit suspension is out there and how it can come. Ultimately, just like the forks, how well the shock is going to perform is heavily going to be influenced by the internal valving settings that Technical Touch have developed for this Stark Varg, and that'll allow you, the rider, to see how well this bike can work. At Ride JBI, we are really excited to learn what the different valving settings are going to be for this KYB A-kit suspension. It's going to be fun to compare what the OEM specs are, what Technical Touch did for this kit suspension, and then we can also compare that to our own settings that we have developed. It's a lot of fun because it helps us learn and also gauge our own progress to see what we thought and have come up on our own, and compare that to what an other very reputable and high-performing tuner as Technical Touch is known to be. At Ride JBI, we were early adopters of the Stark Varg. Anthony, behind the camera, purchased his Stark Varg 1.0 over 2 years ago, and I quickly followed suit after riding his, because I quickly fell in love with the bike, with just how new it is, how unique, and how much fun I had on the bike as well. Flashing forward to today, with nearly 2 years now of testing, tuning, development time on these Stark Vargs, we are extremely proud to say we have successfully revalved over 200 of these Stark Varg motorcycles for the MX and EX models, and for all the different types of riding. Motocross, all the different styles of off-road riding, be it flowy single track, hard enduro, open desert, and then also we've built a number of them for freestyle motocross and some Arenacross / Supercross guys also. Now, to give you guys a little bit of tips before this video ends, in our experience, we have found the Stark Vargs to be undersprung and a little bit over damped, and I am referencing purely the MX 1.0 and the MX 1.2 models, not the new factory editions coming out. The reason I share that is the Stark Varg, for how much it weighs, tries to use similar spring rates as what a Yamaha YZ450 comes with, however, for a heavier weight rider. For example, a Yamaha will come with certain spring rates that are well suited for a 170-pound rider, where the Stark Varg will use or recommend the same spring rates, but for a 200-pound rider, even though their bike weighs 40 pounds more. Okay, about approximately 40 pounds more. It's close to like 39, 38. At Ride JBI, we have found, and this mostly applies to the MX models, that because they undersprung the bikes, they heavily overdamped the bikes with a lot of low speed compression damping. What that creates in terms of a ride sensation is that the bike tends to be rather chattery on the small and medium bumps as you ride around. So you get a lot of feedback from the handlebars and at your feet. And then the bike also tends to bottom out rather easily during any medium to high impacts. So the best way we found to better balance this equation, and by equation I mean the amount of spring resistance you have, aka spring force, and hydraulic damping you have, which is contributed by your valving, is we want to have a better balanced relationship. So by that, we found if we were to increase the spring rates so we can get better sag and preload numbers, we can also slightly reduce a little bit of the low speed damping resistance and the valving. Now I'm oversimplifying here to give you some insight, but once we did that, we got a bike that had a much better overall ride height. We got better sag numbers. It was much more comfortable on those small and medium bumps, and then it had a lot more hold up and bottoming resistance for those medium to high impacts. So again, I'm really excited to see what this factory edition comes with, to see how they approach this. By no means am I criticizing or saying Stark Var hasn't done a good job with their bikes. They did an amazing job, especially for it being, in my opinion, still their first year bikes. For their first time of ever making a motorcycle be an electric bike, they did a phenomenal job. It's just our job here at Ride JBI to always push the ball further. So if you give us a bike that's this good, we're gonna figure out how to make it that much better. So no matter what you give us, our job is always to figure out how to improve upon what they have already developed. Now, if you have a Stark Var of your own and you're wondering what spring rates to utilize, on our website at ridejbi.com, we do have our spring rate chart. It is going to be in the JBI spring rates category. Look for the Stark Var category within that. You can click on that, and then we break down our recommended spring rates for 4 different categories of riding, so you can figure out exactly what spring rates you may need for setting up your bike. Thank you for tuning in and watching this Stark Varg MX Factory Edition suspension focused video. I hope you learned something along the way. If you like what you're watching, please like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps our videos get out there and reach more people and find it. Also, leave a comment below with anything that I missed or anything else that you'd like to learn more about. If you'd like to get your own suspension done by Ride JBI, please give me a call or send me an email. We can discuss the year, make, model bike that you have. We'll talk about the options that are available, and then based on all that information, we'll decide what setup will be most advantageous for you.